Hello there guys, how are we doing today? Good? Fantastic. Right, so in this video I'm going to be continuing with the lessons sorry about that. The challenge number 7, which is the right arrow function with parameters. So in the previous challenge we did the arrow function without any parameters, but in this one we're doing with parameters. So just like a normal function, you can pass arguments into arrow functions. Okay, uh, you can pass more than argument into arrow functions as well. So it says rewrite the my concat, which is this function, which appends contents of arrow2 to arrow 3 so that the function uses arrow function syntax. So we need to concat the functions or rewrite the my concat function, which appends content of arrow2 to arrow1. So we start by choosing the parameter, omitting a function keyword with the two brackets and two parameters in there, and then we draw an arrow and that will remove the curly braces, and then remove the strict as well, and then return item can be omitted as well, and there we go. That's our arrow function there. Perfect. So now if we run the test, it will say no. What did we do? Oh, sorry. I forgot to replace the var keyword by a constant. Alright, we do that, and there we go. Done. Sweet as. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Oh yeah, baby. Let's go to the next challenge. Right, so do this one maybe later. So write higher order arrow function. Okay, now we're gonna write higher order arrow function. It's time to see how powerful arrow functions are when processing data. Arrow functions work really well with higher order functions such as map, filter, and reduce that take other functions as arguments for processing collections of data. Alright, so we're going to be using these functions, which are called the higher order functions of map, filter, and reduce. Okay, it says read the following code, be post, so filter, and then it takes an other function as well in there and puts in there, and then we have written this with filter to at least make it somewhat readable. Now compare it to the following code, which uses arrow function syntax. Alright, this is the code. It removes the function, puts a parameter, and the rest remain the same. Perfect. Alright. So now it says that this code is more succinct and accomplishes the same task with a fewer lines of code. So guys, just to remind you, in programming, the fewer lines of code you write to accomplish the task, the better programming skills you have. Alright, so it says use the arrow function syntax to compute the square of only the positive integers. Alright, we're going to be writing an arrow function syntax to compute the square of only the positive integers. Decimal numbers are not integers, so we're going to ignore decimal numbers. In the array, real number array, which is this one, and store the new array in the variable squared integers. This is a variable, and we're going to be storing the array in this variable. So it says change code below this line, so we're going to be changing this code, right? So what we're going to do is use arrow function syntax to compute the square of only the positive integers. Alright, so what we go so what we're gonna do is, so I think we're gonna use the function filter in this, and then the argument that we need to pass in is r. Okay, so we're gonna pass in the r argument. Oops, yes, this way. So arr, and then what we're gonna do is start the function with the arrow, and then check if arr is an integer by using the number class and checking if it's integer method, and then pass the arr in there. And another if condition is that if arr is greater than 0, and if it is, then what we're gonna do is map arr, which is r, and another function, say pass the argument again, and no, we're not gonna pass the argument. Sorry, this is the argument here, and then we're gonna write a statement. Map arr is equal to arr the square of itself. Alright, and let's check if this code passes through. Have a guess, will it? Yes, it will. I'm pretty sure about that. Yay, it did. The town is now red, which is my favorite color, so it's my favorite town. Yeah, boy. Let's get to the next challenge. Alright, set default parameters for your function. In order to help us create more flexible functions, ES introducing default parameters for functions. Check out this code. So it's a function greeting, it's a default name is anonymous, and then this is the method body. And then rise John to the console. Hello John. Yep, that's fine. And this is anonymous. Right. The default parameter kicks in when the argument is not specified. Alright. If you don't specify the argument, it will kick in. And which means that it is undefined. As you can see in the example above, the parameter name will receive its default value, which is anonymous. When you do not provide a value for the parameter, you can add the default value for as many parameters as you want. So now it says that modify the function increment by adding an increment. This is the function. by adding default parameters so that it will add 1 to a number if value is not specified. So alright guys, so I think what we have to do is, oops, why did that, where did that go? So to modify the function increment by adding a default parameters so that it will add 1 to number if the value is not specified. So number has to become 1 if the value is not specified. Okay, so say for example, this is the test case. If we just give 5, it should return a 6. So we already have a number, but in that one, in this case scenario, we haven't got the value specified. So the default value that I would give to value is 1. So in this case, uh, whenever I've got this parameter in this function, it will always take the value of this once. So if the value is 2, then the result would be 7. So number is 5 and the value is 2. However, if I haven't got the value there, then if the value, the default parameter of the value should be 1. So 5 plus 1 equals 6. Alright, so I'll just put this one back and try again and see if it works. Yay! One loop to rule them all. Go to the next challenge. Bring it on. Alright, so it says use the rest operator with function parameters. Okay, rest operator with function parameters. In order to help us create more flexible functions, ES6 introduced the rest operator for function parameters. With the rest operator, you can create functions that take a variable of a that take variable number of arguments. These arguments are stored in an array that can be accessed later from inside the function. So check out this code and alright, let's read this again because I did not understand it. So in order to create in order to help us create more flexible function, ES6 introduces rest operator for function parameters. With the rest operator, you can create functions that take a variable number of arguments. These arguments are stored in an array that can be accessed later from inside the functions. Okay, so let's check out this code. Function, how many, these are the arguments, return your pass plus how many arguments, and then here this is the number, and then you have passed this much arguments, and then it prints out. Okay, the rest operator eliminates the need to check the args, which is the argument array, and allows us to apply map, filter, and reduce on the parameters array. now, alright, so now it says that modify the function sums so that it uses the rest operator, but it works in the same way with any number parameters. Sorry guys, I think I'm nearly asleep. Anyway, focus on this challenge, and as soon as I finish this, I can go to my warm bed. Alright, so modify the function sum, which is this one. So they use the rest operator, and it works in the same way with any number of parameters. So args, I think this is the rest parameters. Okay, so do. Right, so it says that we need to modify the function sum, so they choose the rest operator. Yep, do this constant introduce the rest operator, and it works in the same way with any number of parameters. Okay, type this one. Oops, duplicate the declaration of args. Ah, okay, yep, it's here. Anyway, remove that one and then run the test, and yes, pass with the flying colors. Alright, next challenge. So now it says that you use the separate operator to evaluate arrays in place. Okay, separate operator. Sorry. The spread operator to evaluate arrays in place. ES6 introduces a spread operator, which allows us to expand arrays and other expressions in place where multiple parameters or elements are expected. The ES5 code below uses apply to commute the maximum value in an array. Okay, so it says that ES6 introduces the spread operator, which allows us to expand arrays and other expressions in place where multiple parameters and elements are expected. The ES5 code below is applied to commute the maximum value in an array. Okay, takes null and array. Right. We had to use max apply and this one because max error returns not a number, and math max expects comma separated arguments but not an array. The spread operator makes this syntax much better to read and maintain. So we do this, we declare the array and then maximus max and then give this array. Okay, spread all this and returns 9. Right. The .r returns an unpacked array. In other words, it spreads the array. However, the spread operator only works in place like in an argument, to a function or in an array literal, and it says that the following code will not work because it's not, because .r is not placed in a, is on, is not placed in an argument to a function or an array literal. So hence it will throw a syntax error. Copy all contents of a R1 into another array R2 using the spread operator. So we need to copy all contents from R1 into another array R2 using the spread operator. So we would probably do A2 is equal to A1, which is incorrect. Yep, agreed. However, we need to do max, max, math, max, and an argument. Alright, let's check it. Oh, sorry, my bad. I changed the wrong one. So it says that copy all contents of our array. Okay, and R1. Perfect. This should work now. And run the test. And we have passed the test. Yeehaw. Right, party on Wayne. No, my name is Zane, so I would call it party on Zane. Alright guys, that's it for this tutorial. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions about my video, please do leave me a comment. And today I've actually made it a bit of a short video, but tomorrow I'll be covering the time up in the tomorrow's video. So don't forget to check out my tomorrow's videos as well. Alright, and have fun until then coding.